All right, guys. Welcome back to Talk Your Ish podcast. I am your host, Talk Your Ish Jess. Oh my, the tea that I got for y'all today. Okay. Now, I was kind of letting it just kind of sit there and, simmer a little bit. Didn't really want to get too much into it, too much into the details and stuff like that until I had everything. But what I seen today was just like, no, this is a little bit too much now. So, we're going to take it to where we take it. Hi, Chewy. How you doing, handsome? All right. So, I've been seeing a lot of the news pop up, a lot of the blogs and everybody sitting there talking about how, Ye is now attacking Jay-Z and Beyonce's children, okay? Because that's a whole other story. We're not even going to go there with them children, okay? Now, sources are saying that Ye is out of nowhere now attacking Jay-Z and Beyonce's children, that this has been an ongoing feud for, a very long time. It's been a very long history between them. Actually, that's false. That's the first false lie right there. Jay-Z and Ye actually didn't have a beef a while back. You guys know they did Niggas in Paris along with a few other tracks. They also helped, each other produce, a couple of tracks, a couple of albums, sign each, artists and stuff like that. Now, a while back when I had my first channel, I know that y'all know I sat there and I told y'all that it was going to be Diddy that fell first. After Diddy, it was going to be Jay-Z next. And then it was going to be like a domino effect. Now, everything that I said, by the way, did come out. You might as well start calling me fucking Talkyourishjess the fucking psychic, because everything that I predicted that was going to happen actually did happen. Why? Because I know what I'm fucking talking about. Hence why I do this. Okay? Now, if you guys remember, I also said that Kim Kardashian's name was one that was on that fucking list in the duffel bag when the whole Cassie and Diddy video came out, where Cassie was actually beating the crap. Where Diddy was beating the crap out of Cassie. I told you guys that there was a list there with a bunch of people's names on it. And that was the reason why, he attacked her for the bag, because it was the bag that needed, the list that needed to be protected. Now, within that list, I also told you guys there were names such as Ellen DeGeneres, Russell Simmons, Oprah, and Kim Kardashian was one of the names on there. Now, when everything hit the fan and everything started to blow up with Diddy, Kim Kardashian was the second person that sat there and blocked Diddy on all social media apps, okay? Saying that she wanted no part of it. She didn't want anything to do with it. All this other bull crap. She was pulling herself out of the equation for a reason. And I told you guys this too. I remember everything I told you guys. I told you guys that the reason that Kim Kardashian had pulled away from Diddy and had blocked him on all social media was because she actually had way more to do with all of this. Okay? Now, she thinks that just because she went ahead and she blocked Jay-Z and Diddy on all social media platforms, that it doesn't mean that everything that you say and do, they're not going to hear about it. Kim Kardashian needs to remember, loose lips sink ships. Okay? She also thinks that just because she took school to become a lawyer, that nothing is going to happen to her. Now, there are several contracts that Kardashian did sign, okay, where she agreed to her silence for a lot of the things that were said and done in a lot of those events where she partaked as well. Okay? So she has already broken a majority of those contracts. So legally, she can end up in trouble. Now, here's where it comes to the part where Jay-Z and Kanye are now beefing. So Miss Kim Kardashian has been running her mouth, talking about a lot of stuff that has happened at those events. Okay? Art Henny, what's going on? Salute, Art Henny. Kim Kardashian has been running her mouth and talking about a lot of things that have happened at those events. Okay? And it's gotten back to Diddy and to Jay-Z that she's just out there running her mouth. She's also so-called slandering Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy. So, of course, what happens? Jay calls Kanye up. He's like, yo, Yee, I need you to get your shorty under control. I need you to talk to her, whatever the case is, and blah, 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 because she's out here in the streets and she's running her mouth a little bit too much. Y'all already know, since Yee's mother passed away, he ain't been in the fucking head, okay? He's quick to just flip the switch for any reason. So, what happened? He ends up, of course, and I can't say anything about it. I give him props for that. He is actually sitting there and he is defending the mother of his children, okay? Now, you guys know Yee and Kardashian, they've had a long history of beef between them. Everybody knows. I'm not one to shy away from saying it. I am a big believer. I think the Kardashian women are actually fucking demons. Okay? I think that they actually are demons. Any man that comes in contact with the Kardashians, they end up all fucked in the head, alcoholics or drug addicts. Nothing but fucking facts. Their brother Rob is the only one that kind of got away, but in a way he didn't, because his life is nothing to fucking cheer about. Okay? Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, and make sure that you guys are sharing this out to everyone so that we can go ahead and get back into the algorithm. Back to the T. So, Kanye is now defending Kim Kardashian. Okay? Facts. Her dad did go and get some titties and a vagina. And you can't knock him for that. You can't knock Kanye for defending Miss Kardashian. Havoc, what's going on, Javi? So, this is where the beef is now coming in. So, Kanye took to Twitter and he let his little Twitter fingers go at it. And he said to his peoples, have y'all ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's children? They're retarded. Like, no, literally, they're retarded. So, of course, they're going to see that. And they're like, bro, what the fuck? This nigga just sat here and called our twins retarded. Now, he wasn't talking about Blue Ivy, okay? He literally was referring to the twins of Jay-Z and Beyonce. And it's like, okay. I know you got beef with them, but why we got to take it to the children, Yee? Why we got to take it to the children? Come to find out, Jay-Z and Beyonce had a few choice of words for his children as well. They had issues and they had jokes first where, y'all know they like naming their children directions and cities and states. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. They must think that's something cool. It's actually not. One is named North, one is named West, one is named Chicago. I don't fucking know. But, so it's like, okay, y'all have, secretly, not so secretly, spoken shit on Kanye's children, but now Kanye sits there and talks about your children, and it's a problem. Okay? So sources are now saying that Jay-Z and Beyonce are actually looking to take legal action against Yee for slandering their children's name. Now, me personally, I've seen a few pictures of Jay-Z and Beyonce's children. I don't see anything wrong with them. They don't look retarded to me. They just look like Jay-Z and Beyonce. He also then goes on to tweet, that's why artificial insemination is such a great idea, because having retarded children is a choice. Ooh. Now, here's where the fucking good part comes in, okay? You guys remember a while back, I told you guys that Blue Ivy is actually not Beyonce's daughter, okay? If you look carefully, Blue Ivy looks like her mother and another person, but does not look like Beyonce. When Beyonce went to go have an interview, Beyonce sat down and her belly folded. Okay? Now, there were some people that were like, oh, but she did a concert where she showed her belly and this, that, and the third. Honey, it's the entertainment industry. You know how many movies that they sit there and they give men and women a fake pregnancy belly and that shit will look real to the T? It's called a costume. Okay? Now, there has been massive rumors and evidence to back it up that Blue Ivy Carter's mother is actually Blue Cantrell, the same woman that Jay-Z and Beyonce tried to end her career, which they actually did end her career. Blue Cantrell was supposed to come out with an interview saying everything that happened between her and Jay-Z. A week before she entered into her interview, Blue Cantrell was almost kidnapped outside the studio where she was recording an album. They put a cloth over her head to try to fucking knock her out, and Blue ended up in the hospital for actually quite a few weeks from poisoning. Okay? Another mistress that Jay-Z had was supposed to come out with a tell-all book. A week before she met with the journalist that was going to help her with the tell-all book, miraculously, this woman who was as healthy as a horse died of a brain aneurysm. Okay? Y'all catching my drift? All right? Everybody knew Blue Cantrell was going to let them know that Blue Ivy Carter was actually her daughter. Okay? And was taken from her so that Jay-Z and Beyonce can raise her. Okay? Hence the name Blue Ivy. Blue Cantrell. Fake belly. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So Ye is actually sitting there and throwing shots at Jay-Z and Beyonce with the artificial insemination because there are rumors that she didn't carry those twins neither. Somebody else did. Okay? They had a surrogate. Okay? So, you see, y'all thought I was sleeping on all of this. I wasn't sleeping on all of it. I was collecting all of my shit. Okay? So now, here comes Mr. Messy Ass 50 Cent, putting his 2 cents in here. Okay? And telling Kanye, listen, chill out. Go back to smiling. Go back to doing music. This, that, and the third. Diddy wants to get involved and say, yo, Kanye, stop talking about Jay-Z's family and just get back to doing music. After Jay-Z is caught, Diddy is caught on audio and in a letter telling Kanye that if he ever thinks that he could walk away from Diddy and leave Diddy, that he's sadly mistaken. Now, he doesn't mean in a sexual manner. There are also contracts where legally documented is the signature of Kanye West, Sean Diddy Combs, and Mr. Carter himself. Okay? In other words, they're letting him know, nigga, you bind it to us. You break that fucking contract and we're gonna break you. Okay? So this is kind of where the feud begins to develop even more. And now people are sitting there talking about, well, this has been an ongoing history of beef between them. No. This has started to develop after Diddy was taken into custody. Okay? And it's like, this is like Alice in Wonderland. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started with Diddy going down the hole. And that's so fucking crazy. This rabbit hole keeps getting deeper and darker. Pause. But that's crazy because that's exactly what I was referring to. It started with Diddy going down the hall and this, that, and the third and blase. And it's like it's going to keep going. You know, but don't sit there and make it seem like Jay-Z and Kanye have never gotten along. They were perfectly fine, okay, when they sat there and they did the fucking track Niggas in Paris, along with many other fucking tracks. You know, their families were close. They were always doing events with each other. All types of stuff. Okay? So you can't sit there and say that this has been a long history of beef between Jay-Z and Beyonce. Keep it a buck and let the people know the truth. This is only coming out because Kanye West is protecting his wife because they are now trying to come after Miss Kim Kardashian, who thought she was untouchable, and she was opening her mouth, or is opening her mouth, about a lot of the stuff that she witnessed happen at the Diddy parties where Jay-Z was also present. Okay? So, you know, kudos to Ye for defending his shorty, but he also has to teach her. You signed a contract and you agreed to. Shh. So you can't just, you at a fucking mimosa party with your fucking girls, you can't sit there and talk about what you signed a contract to not talk about. And these dudes can't get mad at you. Loose lips sink ships. Now, we do know that the Kardashians are very dangerous women. But so is Jay-Z. So is Diddy. They've blackballed many, many fucking careers. Jay-Z is one of the artists that has blackballed numerous careers. Okay? So, you can't sit there and think that because you're a Kardashian, there's not going to be no repercussions to you doing exactly what you signed off on saying that you wasn't going to do. Okay? Now, Diddy's not being very smart at all from prison. You're making phone calls and you're having these weird ass phone conversations with people thinking that they're not being recorded. Papa, you in jail. Even the prison guards are going to record you because they're like, yo, I can get a good grip of money off of this nigga just for this conversation alone. They've recorded you talking to your child. Okay? They've recorded you talking to Jay-Z. And you guys are sitting there talking about breaking up, you know, and making sure that this is deleted, that is deleted. You sat there and called your son from prison and told your son, yo, make sure that you get rid of all the pizza boxes. Make sure that, you know, all the garbage is taken out of the house. Because you know how I feel about pizza boxes just laying around the house. You really think that nobody was going to decrypt all of that? Did you really think that nobody was going to put 2 and 2 together of what it was that you were talking about? Pizza boxes, aka any files that you find that are lying around the house. Garbage, any evidence that you think can be used against me, make sure you take it out and destroy it. It's not that hard to decrypt, buddy. So, hey, crime mobsters, welcome in, sweetie. It's like, you're not being very smart because the prison guards they're praying to God that you make at least 4 to 5 phone calls a day because they're going to record all those phone calls. So while you're sitting there, you're calling freaking Yee, you're calling your children, you're calling Jay-Z, and you're calling a whole bunch of other people that are on that list as well. And you're having these conversations with them. The prison guards are actually sitting there recording you, and they're passing it along to TMZ, to CNN, and to all these other people. So it's like, what you doing it for? You're sinking your own ship, my guy. Because at the end of the day, you're telling on yourself, thinking that you're playing it smart. Well, I was just talking to my son about keeping my house clean. Right. Clean of any files, of any evidence, of any proof that you've done anything that they're charging you with. My guy, you've already given up names in there. Okay? You've already given up numerous names in there. All right? So now, if you guys remember, not too long ago, there was a kid that kind of came out into the light. And he was like, well, my father is Jay-Z. Took the DNA test and all. His father came back as Jay-Z. Now, this boy is the son of the woman that miraculously, healthy as a horse, passed away from a brain aneurysm. Okay? Now, he says he doesn't want anything from him, this, that, and the third. I call cap. Come on now. We're talking about Jay-Z. The minute you mention his name, you automatically gained some type of fame. Okay? So it's like, you said that you wasn't doing it for fame, but you got famous off of it. Now, nobody's ever heard from him ever again. He said what he said. He said he just wanted to, you know, get the truth for himself. You know, that Jay-Z was his father. And if he was his father, why what happened to his mother happened. You know, and if he did have any involvement, of course he wasn't going to get no type of answers like that. Because look at what happened with the whole girl who allegedly was raped by Jay-Z. Her case got thrown out. Her case did not get thrown out. She was paid off. She was paid off. Okay? Just like everybody try to figure out what happened with Cassie the first time around, why she didn't press charges. My bad, Joe. Why she didn't press charges on on Diddy the first time and all this stuff. Why? Because she was paid off the first time, and she also signed a waiver. The only problem was that the first waiver that she signed, it was not it wasn't legalized for the simple fact that they fucked up in the documentations. So it made it that it was no good, the waiver. So that gave her a chance to, okay, I'm going to take the first amount of money that you paid me and I'm going to live off of that for a minute. And since the waiver is no longer good because y'all fucked up in the description and in the rest of the documentations, y'all messed up y'all wordings and everything, now I get to come at you a second time and I'm going to hit you for another stack. And that's what she's doing. Okay? Now, it's going to take a grip. Do I believe all the women that are coming out with their stories about Diddy and stuff like that? No, I don't. I think they're all coming out with their hands out and a payoff. Do I think that there are some people that were abused or taken advantage of? Yes, I do think that some of those people are actually telling the truth. Like Justin Bieber. But with Justin Bieber, we can't sit there and put the blame on him. Justin Bieber was a kid when he joined Diddy and everything. Justin Bieber's mother is actually the one that is to blame, just like Usher Raymond's mother is the one to be blamed. Now, for other names that have started to hit the fan are Tank, Neo, Mario, names like that. Now, unfortunately, with Neo, we already started to see some type of proof because a while back when I released the footage of his baby moms going in on him and she's like, oh, do you want to tell the people about what really happened at those Diddy parties and stuff like that? I was like, oh, girl, you looking for your deathbed. Don't say that shit like that. Like, that man's going to sit there and be like, what the fuck did you just say? Mind you, nobody's heard from Shorty ever since. Okay? Now, his family was quick to take to the defense and say, oh, she's got mental problems and this, that, and the other. Why is it that every time that somebody comes forward with the truth, the kids from Nickelodeon, Justin Bieber, Usher, Amanda Bynes, numerous other people that have come forward with the truth about things that has been done to them in the music industry and in the entertainment industry, the word mentally disturbed has always been the first thing to pop out. When Amanda Bynes came out and tried to let everybody know that the producers from Nickelodeon were sexually abusing a majority of the children, they said that she was on drugs and an alcoholic and she had mental problems. Justin Bieber came out with his shit. They said that he was a drug addict and he was mentally disturbed. Orlando Brown came out telling his truth. They said that he was so much on fucking crack and a bunch of other drugs that he was just mentally brain dead. Orlando Brown was actually telling the truth and a lot of shit. Orlando Brown has actually told people about a lot of shit that's happened that's actually truth. And they've tried to silence Orlando Brown every single time. So what happened? If you sit there and you tell the truth, you either end up dead or you just labeled as a person that has mental problems. Okay? Jay-Z's mistress wanted to come out with a tell-all story. She was murdered. But not before she came out with a song. She did come out with a song telling her truth about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay? Blue Cantrell tried to come out with the truth. You guys try to kill Blue Cantrell. You blackballed her career. Nas's wife tried to come out with her side of the story, with her truth. Y'all blackballed her career as well. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people are sitting there talking about, I love Rihanna. Rihanna's such a different person since she's been with A$AP Rocky, this, that, and the third. Now, you got to watch her with Rihanna because Rihanna still messes with Jay-Z. Now, there is footage a while back when Rack Files was going on, salute to you, when Rihanna had won an award for one of her albums. She was trying to thank her father, okay? Jay-Z stood there and gave her the death stare and cut her off. And he was like, well, what she really means to say is she had no other choice. She was so scared and she was shaking as she was giving, her appreciation speech that she was trying to give to her father, who was there from Barbados. She had to give her all praises to Jay-Z. Okay? She had to give all her praises to Jay-Z. Okay? And then he kind of, after she said what he said, he kind of stood there and he smirked like, yeah, that's what I thought, shorty. Now, you guys know Rihanna was with Chris Brown. The incident happened to where she put her hands on him. He reacted by beating the shit out of her. This, that, and the third. Chris Brown ended up being the one who lost because his career got blackballed. He had to struggle to get his career back on track the way it was. Okay? Now, Jay-Z was not happy whatsoever about Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. Okay? Now, the whole A$AP Rocky court case was a big old fucking mess. People couldn't figure out how is it that certain evidence was coming about and it wasn't matching, nor it wasn't making sense. The evidence against A$AP Rocky, the math wasn't mathing. It wasn't clicking together. Again, y'all forget, Rihanna and Jay-Z have their handlings. Jay-Z was not happy about the fact that Rihanna was with A$AP Rocky, which, by the way, for those that are sitting there and thinking, are Rihanna's children actually A$AP Rocky's? Yes, they actually are. DNA has proven that they actually are A$AP Rocky's children. But he does have power in higher places to where he can sit there and just be like, well, you know what? Try to fuck up the case with this. Try to fuck up the case with that. With this, with that, with this. That's why A$AP Rocky was always so confused. Be like, yo, I never heard of that before. Why is that popping into evidence? You messing with a very powerful man, shorty. But your shorty don't want to tell you that she still got handlings with this man. Now, it could be that she has tried to pull away from him many, many times. But because he is such a scary person, she's not trying to get her career nor her husband's career blackballed either. Okay? So, that is how the entire beef literally started between Ye, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. Okay? Jay-Z called up Ye, told him he needs to keep his shorty on a leash. She can't go out running her mouth. This, that, and the third. Blase, blase. Kanye stood up for his baby moms. Okay? Now, 50 Cent, I think 50 Cent just needs to me, I think that 50 Cent, yes, does care for Kanye. Kanye did say that 50 Cent is actually one of his favorite people. And he does think that 50 will be the one to bring iconic back. Whatever he meant by that. We do know that 50 Cent does have his way of doing iconic shit, spur of the moment. And I know that 50 Cent had took some time off from social media for the simple fact that there was a big beef going on. 50 Cent, Rick Ross, Big Meech, Little Meech. Everybody was saying that Little Meech, that Big Meech has to fucking show his loyalty to 50 Cent. He can't go fucking with Rick Ross, this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something. Me personally, I don't think that Big Meech owes 50 Cent any fucking loyalty whatsoever. His handling was with his son, okay? Big Meech never called you, never wrote to you, never looked for you in prison and said, yo, listen, I need you to take care of my kid, okay? I need you to take care of my kid. I need you to take him under your wing, show him the roots, and until I get out, just hold me down with my son. That never happened. You did that on your own. You did that because you saw talent in that boy, and you was like, hold up, I can make a bag off this kid. This wasn't because you actually gave a fuck about him. This was because you seen a bag in that kid, okay? So now what happens? Big Meech comes out of prison and ends up taking a picture with big boy Ricky Ross. Now 50 Cent is all in the uproar, okay? All in the uproar, talking about, oh, That's not loyalty. That's what I get. I took care of your son, this, that, and the. You did that. You did that because you wanted to. He ain't tell you to do it. That man don't owe you no loyalty. If anything, now, if you was to sit there and say that the son, had to owe you some loyalty, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different because he's the one that you've been helping get his career, a jumpstart to his career and stuff like that. But still, even with that, even if the little one seen Rick Ross and wanted to fucking sit there and chop it up and, have some dinner or just snap a pic with Rick Ross, why does your beef with Rick Ross have to come off to everybody else? Why? You know how many people that was rocking with you and you sat there and you took pictures, went to fucking parties and all types of events with people that didn't fuck with the people that you was doing business with? But when it happened to you, you want to cry about it. You want to sit there and talk about, you overstepped the line. You went out of bounds for that, this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. Let's not forget that when you and DJ Khaled was beefing, you broke into DJ Khaled's home. And you went into DJ Khaled's mother's bedroom and you took a picture while laying next to her. That's overstepping the bounds. Okay? That's overstepping the bounds. But now because Big Meech comes out of prison and he took a picture with Rick Ross, now all of a sudden you want to sit there and cry about it, talking about, nah, I did this for your son. I did that for your son. Where the fuck is my loyalty? Nigga, go look for it. That man don't owe you no loyalty. That man owes you that much of loyalty. You chose to take on his son. You did that because you saw a bag in him. You figured, if I use this kid properly, I could get a bag. And then what you did, you took it out on the kid. Now you're being a fucking hypocrite. Because the kid ain't do nothing to you. His pops did. Take that shit up with his pops, not the kid. But we forget that sometimes you can't tell 50 Cent shit because 50 Cent thinks that the rules don't apply to him. Okay? Also, don't forget that all of those types are protected and ordered to carry those orders out to certain ones. That's the whole fact. That's why I told you, whenever you sit there and you make any type of dealings, sign any type of contracts with Jay-Z, Beyonce, 50, anybody in the industry, and you go and you start running your mouth and you go against whatever contract you sign, they have their ways of making sure that those orders are carried out. Listen, I just finished signing a contract with Shorty right here. She says she's not going to talk about this, that, and the third. I need you to now be her fucking personal. I need you to be my eyes and ears for her. You see that she talks to someone and you find out that, she's saying something about what happened. You already know what to do. Make it look how you got to make it look. You know how many people have had handlings with Jay-Z and Beyonce and miraculously they've all just fucking died of a brain aneurysm? Why? Because there's certain drugs that you can inject into people to make it look like it was a brain aneurysm because it's not traceable. It's not noticeable. Okay? DMX spoke on how Jay did him dirty, so I believe it. That's a whole fact. Listen, DMX, okay, was one that sat there and spoke about however he felt. Okay? I love DMX. May God rest that man's soul because that was one of the fucking dopest artists ever to have fucking graced hip-hop. Okay? Now, Murder, She Wrote. Whole facts, Javi. Whole facts. Now, I do remember what Sundown is talking about. I do remember when DMX sat there and he spoke about how Jay-Z did him dirty. Whole facts. Jay-Z had a big problem with it. But also listen to this. That happened a couple of months later. R.I.P. DMX. R.I.P. to DMX. Okay? Now, everybody wants to sit there and say that this Illuminati thing in the music industry and in the entertainment industry is not real. It actually is. It actually is. Okay? When you can sit there and you have to go into a situation where you got to sign a contract and say, I such and such am agreeing to not speak on anything that I hear, see, or am involved in with party number 1 and party number 2. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not doing it. I'm not signing any fucking waiver to anything. I'm not signing no fucking contract to nothing. Okay? So what happens? Now, listen to this. Okay? Aaliyah, who was involved, with Dame Dash. Jay-Z wanted his hands on Aaliyah before anybody. But because of the fact that Dame Dash is who Dame Dash is, he wasn't letting Aaliyah go. Now, Aaliyah was supposed to be who Beyonce is today. Y'all can't front. Aaliyah was the shit as a female fucking R&B artist. And an actress. Okay? Now, the same exact week that Aaliyah went to the island that she went to do Rock the Boat, Beyonce and the rest of Destiny's Child was on that island as well, doing I Am a Survivor. Now, if you pay close attention to the little secret details, okay, the beat is similar. You guys are talking about, in the video, if you look and pay attention closely, there's a plane crash in the video. It's a plane crash in the video. The video is I'm a Survivor. The clothing that Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle wore were to mimic the outfit that Aaliyah had on. It was in the exact same location where she did Rock the Boat. Okay? Now, a lot of people have shown proof to where when Aaliyah was killed twice, Aaliyah was killed and drugged and put on the plane that she did not want to board because there was an altercation already that had happened on the island. And she was drugged and put on the plane crashed. Plane crashed, and here comes I Am a Survivor. Whole facts. So y'all telling me y'all don't find that weird? Aaliyah's supposed to be Beyonce. Beyonce has known to blackball a lot of female careers. She did it to Tia Marie. She did it to, she ain't blackball. She literally took her out the whole fucking equation, Aaliyah. She did it to Blue Cantrell. There's many other artists that she did it to. Okay? Many other artists. And y'all sit there and y'all think that Jay-Z is the only fucking demon in the whole marriage. No. This is a demon power couple. Okay? Yeah, Khalees as well. I mentioned Khalees. Yep. It's not just Jay-Z. Okay? Little Mama. Now, listen. I understand, and I've said it 1,000 times. I know how some people want to sit there and say, oh, but Little Mama looks for it. Okay, Shorty got excited. Shorty's from New York. Okay? Me and my husband, we can't hear no fucking song that has to do with New York. We all into that shit. It's New York. We're New Yorkers. Okay? Little Mama got a little above herself. Okay? She got above herself and she went on stage. Okay? And she interrupted their performance. Now, I get it that it was disrespectful because they went and they worked hours. This, that, and the third. There wasn't a lot of choreography. So let's not act like you had a million fucking hours working on choreography. Because my nigga, all you did was hold the mic, stand there, bopping. Yeah, and that's all you fucking did, my nigga. Alicia Keys did a little bit more movement. And she didn't even do that much movement. Why? Because Jay-Z didn't want a lot of fucking choreography. So, Little mama got a little above herself. Beyonce tried to hold her back. Nah, shorty, don't go up there. You know my husband crazy. She went up there, stood up there, yeah, this, that, and the third. What happened? Ja. There goes her career. Alicia Keys forgave her. Jay-Z was like, nah, I don't fuck with that shit no more. Little mama don't got no more fucking career. So little mama's career was blackballed by Jay-Z. Okay? So what happened now? How many more artists are going to keep being added on to this fucking shit to where you... Oh, and here's another thing, by the way. For those of you saying that it's such a fucking long-ass history of beef between Kanye and Jay-Z and Beyonce, do y'all forget that when the awards had happened, Kanye West interrupted Tay-Tay, Miss AKA Taylor Swift, on stage and said, nah, Beyonce was the one that needed to win that award, not no fucking Taylor Swift. So how y'all had so much beef, but the nigga interrupted Shorty's whole speech just to say, give the award to Taylor Swift, not Beyonce, not Taylor Swift. Y'all need to start paying closer details, and y'all need to start backtracking. That's why my shit always hits, because I backtrack. Okay, 50 Cent and who can we pick? 50 Cent and The Game don't like each other. Now let's backtrack to how far this goes. Let's look at your history a little bit and let's break it down to see if we can actually pinpoint and narrate if this is real, if this is for the fucking cameras, or if something just kind of went left. Excuse me, that's what I do. I break every fucking thing down. Okay? I take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'm able to come to the conclusion of what I bring you guys. Okay? So, the next time that y'all sit there and y'all see something about Kanye and Jay-Z, you know, and Beyonce, and whatever the case is, just remember, Kanye West is trying to protect his baby moms who signed an NDA with Diddy and Jay-Z. She's been running around, running her mouth, spilling tea about shit that she should not be spilling. Jay-Z and Beyonce tried to get Kanye to shut her up. It didn't work. Now Kanye's pissed and he's attacking Jay-Z and Beyonce. Diddy, 50, and Jay-Z are trying to get him quiet. Diddy and 50 are putting their beef to side because they're trying to so-called look out for Kanye. I could believe that 50 Cent is trying to look out for Kanye West. I don't buy it from Diddy. It's more of a warning to where either you're going to have to shut Shorty up or it's going to be R.I.P. Kim Kardashian one of these days. Okay? My name is Talkyourishjess. I am queen of the motherfucking Rico Squad and the host of the Talkyourishjess podcast, where I bring you celebrity gossip, celebrity breaking news, and all types of topics. And remember, if us Latinos stay together, we can run more shit, we can have more power, and we can fight back against the fucking orange Power Ranger and Mr. Musky Musk, okay? Do remember, the Rico Squad is the fucking hardest in the whole fucking yard. Shout out to Chewy. I see you, my love. Shout out to Javi. Shout out to the Rack Files, Art Hennies. Shout out to Sundown. And shout out to Crime Mobsters who stopped by. And to everybody else that was watching in the bushes, make sure you share your girl out. I am coming back. I'm getting back into the groove of things. I will be keeping you guys up to date with all this mess that came out. But that is my time for now. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And this motherfucking Queen Rico. And as my saying goes, I said what the fuck I said unapologetically. Peace out, y'all.